I just can't get over how bad this is.
Möge dein Gral kippen und sich ergießen, damit die Götter an seinem Nektar nippen können. Valerien, verschwinde, ja, mögest du deine Rüstung scheißen. Ich bin fertig mit euch. Oh, was für ein Paar.
That's 3 different people talking, and they all have the same voice. So YouTube put auto-dubbing on all of it, as far as I can tell. It's famously a great idea to backfill features through the entire history of your entire website as a setting people can't avoid or escape. There's no devastating consequences to applying something to your entire body of content. As far as I can tell, they just turned it on one day. It's like, here's auto dubbing. It's going to AI auto dub all of your voices. If the person watching your video, their native language is not set to your language. So my videos are uploaded in English. So if your default language is not English, then it's going to automatically dub all of the videos in these other languages, which like already is like, it's a text-to-speech Google Translate mess, so it's probably a horrible translation. I'm not good enough at any language to actually verify, but it can't be that great. But also I'm just like, we just saw a clip where 3 different people spoke in a tabletop RPG multiplayer game. Check out Shattered Grail on Null Playing Games. This is our playthrough that we have over there. Look at those crazy fucking JRPG assets. This is, sorry, it's been really cool working on this. I'm playing as Valerian, the little bat character down here. That I was one of the voices. Could you tell? No, you couldn't, because the text-to-speech is that bad. Like, three of us spoke, and we all sounded the same in this system. It's just, we're all like dudes in their 30s. We're gonna probably all sound the same to this thing. So whatever other voices it has, it's just not gonna flip over to them because we're not different enough, I guess. And it's like, that's So if you've been encountering this, thankfully, you can go over here and go to audio track and you can switch off of them. You can also switch on to it if you just want to sample how bad this stuff is on a video that happens to have it on. As far as I can tell, you can't turn it off once it's on. I went into my settings and disabled it on each of my channels because it's awful. It's just a bad feature. But as far as I can tell, you can't turn it off on any of the videos that it's on. So while I have disabled the setting, it is on for the approximately 19,000 videos I've made over the last 14 years. So that's fun. And I just think about how like I made video essays where I have careful, nuanced takes, and I really work on my script very carefully for so long, for months on each video essay, and it's got a very carefully chosen title and very carefully chosen words throughout the entire 10,000 to 30,000 words each one is. And now people are gonna potentially be mad at me for a weird mangled translated idea of something I never said. Like, I have literally turned down offers to translate my videos because while I know that there's obviously some level of it being useful to translate your videos into other languages and it's a way of reaching people and that is good on some level, my issue is that the people that offer to translate my videos are people that I don't know, and they are not professional translation studios. So they're not professional localizers, because I want it to be done right, but I also don't make money that much, so like I can't afford to localize my videos into different languages by paying actual professionals to do it. But I don't want to trust a random stranger that just happens to volunteer to translate my text correctly. Like, I constantly encounter people who don't understand my videos in English already, untranslated. I don't want to even try to deal with what happens when somebody has to make hundreds of localization choices in the process of translating my video to another language, and then I can't check their work, and I don't know if they understood my video correctly the first time in English. So I didn't want to do this with any actual humans either. And now YouTube just did it. He just did it to so many videos, and it's just so bad. So thankfully you can at least switch it back over to English, because let's be honest, if you're watching an English channel, you probably already understood English on some level. This is all for a hypothetical idea that people might find audiences amongst people that don't speak the language maybe one day, which is unproven, and that'll be a really weird experience to have an entire chunk of your audience that you can't communicate with directly because they're watching a Google translated version of your video. But we're not in that future yet, so we don't know what the consequences of this will be and whether or not there's actually any upsides, or if it works out at all, or if they just reverse it and delete this whole thing, or what. Or if they just leave it as an option that's off by default, and then you can like try to use the Google translated versions of various videos on an opt-in basis, which seems like a better option if you really want to advocate for the idea of this being a useful thing, which it is on some level if it was perfect. In a hypothetical world where this is perfect, it's a cool feature, but it's not perfect, obviously, because we still can't figure out how to translate most things all the time. There's endless debate about how to translate things all the time. So this is just such a weird mess. Like, it bums me out.
Dann gibt es mir und beginnt zu erklären. Das ist jetzt schon ziemlich selten, also halte es gut fest. Was du da in deinen Händen hältst, ist ein Fläschchen mit Mondstaub. Es ist Mondstaub, schwer zu bekommen. Käse.
On some level it scares me because I'm like, I don't even know what they're saying. And they're us. Like, there's the promise that it's us saying what we said, but it also could just be complete nonsense. But there's an additional part of this that I didn't even fully anticipate happening. So right here, we can see this comment by somebody, and they're saying that my video title, Let's Play Back to the Dawn, is being translated to Let's Reproduce/Breed Back Again at Dawn. In other words, let's fuck at dawn. Let's Play Back to the Dawn is becoming Let's Fuck at Dawn. I don't know which language that is, but wow. So what's happening here is the titles of videos are being automatically translated, and so people are increasingly not able to tell what language people are increasingly not able to tell what a video is titled, because if their native language isn't English, it's being mangled into these insane amalgams of Google Translate mess that don't understand formatting or what the intent of the title is or what it's going for, while already being applied to a format that is YouTube, where people do usually some level of clickbaiting. Like, there's such a specific language to so many popular YouTube videos where you have a relationship between the title of the title of the video and the thumbnail of the video. There are often two parts of one statement or question, or a question and an answer, and so on. And that entire dynamic is being obliterated by just this bizarre mangling. And unfortunately, I don't think you can opt out of that part. Like, once you click on a video, you can change the auto dubbing. But if your native language is not the same language as the video that it's uploaded in, and then translation happens, then you don't get to change the title. And you don't get to know what the original title was supposed to be, even though you probably understood it because you're watching that channel already. So you don't get to know what the intent was. And as far as I don't think there is like a turn it back button that lets you like view the original one. Like, at least when we opt into auto translating a tweet, we're clicking a button and the original tweet is still there, and we understand that this is like a weird mangled attempt to translate it. But I think these are just unlabeled replacements for titles, so they're just making me say other things like let's fuck at dawn, and I don't get to opt into that or check if it's right or opt out of it when it's wrong. I just can opt out of it as a whole channel. In this case, I have a backlog of Let's Plays that I think I uploaded before the change happened, so they're just going to still be fucked up translations until the auto-translate goes away, unfortunately. And what really gets me about this whole thing that's really strange is that, like, YouTube, in their implementation of this, seemingly doesn't understand that bilingual people exist, which is insane, because so much of the international audience for YouTube is people watching American or English language videos from around the world, and like their native language isn't English, but a lot of people speak English, and people that are watching English language videos on YouTube are kind of self-selecting as being a group of people that probably on some level speak English. So they already understood the titles of the videos and most of the text of the videos. And at the very least, that version that they at least mostly understood or fully understood was more accurate than this weird, like mangled version that's now being served to them. And in the implementation of this feature, there was never, as far as I know, an opportunity for people to say, I know these languages. You don't get to be, I know 5 languages. It's just you have one native language that your account is set to, and you're stuck with that, which makes this a very unsolvable problem for users, because it means that if you change your language to English to make this dubbing stop happening, then sorry, YouTube says, fuck you. Now all the videos in your native language are going to be auto-dubbed into English. You're like, oh, no, I speak both of these languages, YouTube. Don't you know I exist? Don't you know how much of your own audience speaks more than one language? Where is the functionality to at least, bare minimum, say all of the languages that you speak? Like, wouldn't that be nice? It'd also solve a lot of problems because people could lie and just say they speak every language so that it stops doing it. But like, yeah, like what? I'm increasingly frustrated because between this and the AI tools and so many other things, I constantly think about how like I felt good about my job as a YouTuber last year. And this year with the downfall of viewership and all these other messes that are happening, and right now there's like a viewership crisis amongst everybody and these AI tools and so on, I'm worried. I'm a bit worried right now. But I can't help but think about like a decade ago, YouTube was in such a good place. Functionality wise, it was not good. It was not good culturally. The cultural place YouTube was in a decade ago was the year before Trump was elected. So that was the peak of upsetting post Gamergate right leaning nonsense. So not good culturally, but as a website doing its job, all the functionality was pretty good, and it pretty much just needed to shut up and stay there and stop making changes and just keep, doing security updates and keeping the whole thing robust and functional, work on its infrastructure. And if anything, what they should have done is hired a larger team of human moderators, because yes, nobody can actually manually moderate the entire content hose in real time of all the content that's uploaded to YouTube and to check whether or not a beheading is put in there or something. Because there's 1 billion hours of YouTube uploaded every minute or some nonsense stat like that. But they could moderate the stuff people actually watch in popular terms. Like, you could just have people whose job it is to constantly watch YouTube and then make decisions about whether or not certain kinds of content are allowed or crossing a line and so on. And they've always had the power to pay people to do that because they're Google. They have so much money. So the way that they put their hands up, like, there's no way we can moderate this platform. How would we ever be able to make this place safe for kids, as far as like the YouTube Kids version goes, like an Elsa Gate and kids content and moderating that? How could we ever have any responsibility with these things? It's like, well, because you have money. You just pay employees. That's how this has always worked, YouTube. But aside from that, like, the website itself was already really functional and kind of in its final state a decade ago. And now we just have this constant enshittification of the internet where everything has to have AI tools in it. Everything needs to, previously everything was trying to implement NFTs and blockchain and Bitcoin. It's always the next weird, shitty trend to crowbar into your website. YouTube is now an amalgam of like, it's like how everything has a TikTok feature on it now. So there's like just bolted on features and that huge mess. And it's just very frustrating. And I wish they were focusing their efforts on things that actually mattered. For example, on my Let's Play channel, I enabled YouTube memberships, which, given how things are going, I'm like, I should at least turn on this monetization option. And if people pay for it, they pay for it, because I can't turn away money. I've moved into a house where I split it 50-50 with Andrew and need to pay rent and need to survive. So my expenses are up, so I should let YouTube memberships happen. And you want to talk about features that would be nice to have. What if I had any control over how this page works? Because when you have a Let's Play channel, people go over and they click on your video tab, and then they want to like look at your video tab. It would be nice if I could like control this page in any way. Like, for example, making it so that my YouTube membership videos don't clog up the entire video page in chronological order. Maybe just show part 1 of each new YouTube membership series to advertise the fact that it exists for people that happen to be looking, but don't make it the majority of my videos. But like, I added YouTube membership early access. Like, I need to make these videos available via YouTube membership for my early access members so that they're getting functionality that is in parity to the functionality that's on my my Patreon, where people can support me for $5 a month and watch all my Let's Plays early. Basically, as soon as they're like finished, like as soon as I make them, I just put them on Patreon, irrespective of there being a sensical schedule and so on. And you watch them weeks in advance, or sometimes like 8 months in advance. Sometimes they sit there for a very long time. So I got to upload a ton of, I got to make a bunch of these available every day in order to get caught up with Patreon. So my YouTube members are getting the service that's promised to them, but it looks bad on the page, and I acknowledge that. I'm not really worried about it damaging my new viewers, because right now nobody's getting new viewers. The entire website's fucked, and no one's getting views or new subscribers. So if anything, this is a great time for me to do this, because there's no success to sabotage. But this looks bad, right? And then you go to the membership tab, and it's just a really weird amalgam of like, be the first to watch this, highlighted content for members. But I didn't highlight it. So like, I would love if I could change this highlighted content for members to be part 1 of each playthrough that you can get access to via the membership as an advertising banner. Recent members only videos is just chronological. And this is recent members only posts. That's the same thing, except it probably includes non-video posts too. But you can't, even if you can get to the playlist for this, it's in the reverse order. So you can't watch these videos via this playlist because they're going to be backwards. So pro tip, if you're joining my YouTube membership here, click on one of these videos after you join the membership. Like, use this to find what I've added recently. So you can be like, oh, cool, that's there. But then click on that video and then go into the comments or the description. And right here, there's a playlist. That one's chronological, and it does feature the YouTube membership video. So that's kind of convenient. So that's good. Thankfully I've set this up so that you're largely going to be in a good place and it's going to work for you. But YouTube is not helping me. So I would love to have more functionality that constantly helps YouTube members, YouTubers be able to actually have more control over their own videos and how it's presented to their audience and so on. There's been gestures at that. They weirdly did finally add a feature where people can co-own a video. This is actually on the face of it, arguably a good feature right here. This, like, Mark Rober and Mr. Beast. Like, oh shit, they can co-upload a video somehow. I don't know how that works on the back end. The answer is likely it's a completely unique feature just for them that no one else gets access to. But you click on it and it even says like, oh, Mark Rober, Mr. Beast. This is both of theirs video. Like, what? I've wanted that feature forever, because I've always wanted to be able to be like, when I play games with Toaster, for example, he doesn't upload the videos on his channel because there's no reason to, because he points out that the viewership on my channel just cannibalizes the viewership on his, and they just perform even worse than normal. So it's just like, there's never been a good way to handle YouTube collaborations where you are kind of like equal partners in a thing. So this feature could potentially be good. Couple things. One, we still don't have it. No, us normal people don't have it. It seems to be a completely unique, bespoke little thing that happened just for these guys and the other Mr. Beast video that he uploaded that week. Also, it was really badly implemented. I actually unsubscribed from Mark Rober that week because this video would not go away. I kept hiding it from my subscription feed over and over again, and it kept coming back immediately every time I refreshed it all day. And it had the most repulsive thumbnail of Mr. Beast's face full of like mud or poop or nonsense, and I was like, I hate looking at Mr. Beast's face. I hate looking at his weird uncanny Photoshop job, and I hate looking at the fact that it's literally supposed to be a gross out thumbnail and it won't go away. So I unsubscribed from Mark Rober because of the fact that I couldn't get this video to go away, and I'm like, it's not worth it. I don't even like your videos that much. You can see I haven't watched that many of them. Like, I watched the controversial car video, and that's it for like the last year, so I just don't care that much. But I would love to see that feature become standard and also functional, and not have that bug in it, for example. Because yeah, like I would like to be able to co-upload with my collaborators and like share credit with them and maybe even monetization with them or something, and have it be more easy right under the video to be like, oh, here's the people in this video that are in it. Like go co-subscribe to that guy or something. That would be cool. But we don't get that kind of functionality. Instead, we get AI tools and our videos forcibly auto-dubbed and we can't turn it back off. And also we don't get viewership because apparently the entire website, everyone feels like their channel's dying right now. And that's, well, I can only hope it gets widespread enough that it gets turned off, but holy shit, man.